Man, kept you waiting, huh? What a night for us to be going live tonight. And welcome to the latest and greatest from Step Brother Sports, part of the Hockey Podcast Network and the Bills Mafia Buffalo fan base platform. Please make sure to subscribe to our socials on all our platforms at CFMAZ for me, at SV the Don NHL for my regular esteemed co-host Shawnee V. And also follow us on YouTube at Step Brother Sports. Don't forget, like the video, rate, review, do all those other great engagement functions. So, the Sabres offseason, man, it is going into overdrive. It's just in the last 30 minutes. Going into draft weekend, free agency next week.
Almost like we planned a show, Chris Maz, tonight.
It's almost like we planned it, right? But the Bills did their ribbon cutting on the new stadium today. So needless to say, things in Western New York sports are happening. But who better to bring on than our friend, recurring guest, and essentially another co-host with us at this point. He's a staple on Sabres Twitter and on the social media platforms where any Sabres news is generally followed. Always has a great pulse on the team, great insight, great thoughts on it. Please welcome back our friend Joe Marino.
Oh,
Yes,
we might as well just call him our Sabres Insider.
Oh, wow. Love it.
You know? We call you our Sabres Insider, Joe? We do that?
Oh, insider. Nah, I'm not an insider.
Nah. You're our insider, though.
It's in my bio, not an insider.
Yeah.
I don't like when the gotcha goblins claim that I'm an insider. I'm not an insider. No.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That's the worst kind of goblins to be coming at you there. But anyway, Joe, before we just go right into the deep end that is currently the NHL offseason, how are things going for you so far this summer? We had the official summer solstice this past weekend.
You did.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I've got a big day tomorrow. I got small claims court against the good old Schmom Schmeepo, as they say. So wish me luck, folks.
Hey, beat the man. Beat the evil empire.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the evil empire. Team Lowe's for life, everyone. Team Lowe's.
Hey, you heard it here first. So that's typically where I go. But anyway, so gentlemen, we've got a trade to discuss right now just because Jarmo Mode is engaged at the moment. So the current trade.
One for Jarmo.
Yes, exactly.
Doing big things here.
Yes. But what we have right now that is just hot off the presses in the last, 20 or 30 minutes, the Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks have made a trade. It is Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway. RIP to that signed photo you have there, Sean.
Oh, man. Value just tanked, didn't it?
Right? And so Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway for the 4th overall draft pick in the upcoming draft this weekend, a defensive prospect, and another mid-round pick, which I think we've discovered now at this point is the 45th overall pick. Is that correct,
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
So, man, we are making some moves. We're hearing some things through the grapevine that Jack Quinn apparently might be next. So I am spurging out. Yeah, we feel that, man.
Speaking of that, as you guys are tuned in, we already have almost 1,000 people. Of course, we announced that we were going to go live at 9:00. This was a scheduled show. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure as we're talking through everything that we are getting your comments live and direct here. So feel free to flood any comments you have about the moves, and we'll continue to update you guys as more information is gathered here in real time.
Yeah, and yes, as of now, this is official. We're not exactly from the team, but every outlet imaginable is reporting this right now. So, Sabres are making some moves. They took a little bit to get started because we've had a lot of things in the rumor mill. Obviously, the Alex Tuck situation always taking the forefront there for what's going to happen. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? But now with some salary cap space freed up a bit, I mean, who knows what's going to happen at this point? Because, I mean, I'll start it off right now. Joe, Sean, because we have now the 4th overall draft pick in the Buffalo Sabres possession, as well as the 20th overall draft pick in their possession, as well as any other number of things they can use at their disposal now for some trade ammunition. What do we think is going to happen here? Is Tuck going to stay now that there's a little bit more money in the banana stand? I mean, do we want to see him re-sign? Just because we've had this conversation back and forth. And if he does, what will the team need to do to make it fit? I mean, obviously there's a crazy move that just happened there. So, I mean, that's $10 million more dollars in salary cap space right there. Joe, feel free to start us off.
I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think this really has any impact. This feels like the move before a move.
Mhm.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that 4th overall pick is in the possession of another team before the end of the show tonight. Over under 1.5 trades before the end of the show.
Over
Over.
the end of the show, I'll take it.
Oh man, that would be spicy
Are
for
we able
sure.
to put up a poll? Are
Yes,
we able
yes,
to?
we certainly can.
Yeah, that'd be
So-
pretty cool.
Sean, I'm going to let you figure out
Yeah,
some
let me-
behind the scenes functions for that, just so we can get a poll up right now. But still, I mean, there's been a lot of hemming and hawing from Tuck's camp, though. I mean, I feel like it could happen. Yes. I mean, I was already resigned to the fact, and I'm sure many people already were, that he was going to just walk in free agency at this point, go get paid.
He's going to test it. He's going to test it regardless. Maybe
Jason Botterill will be desperate and pay him $12 million out in Seattle, or somebody else out west might do the same. I mean, his wife is from British Columbia.
That he's going to trade for him.
Oh, and do the sign and trade. Okay.
I think there's going to be a sign and trade.
Interesting. That'd be another way to recoup an asset there, just because the Sabres are still looking a little bit slim in this year's draft. Was because of the trades they did at the deadline for Logan Stanley, Luke Shen, and Tanner Pearson, of course. And can't forget Sam Carrick, who is now a lovely part of my new studio collection here. And he was punching out the Tampa Bay Lightning on that evening. So
glad. Good. You're looking good over there, Maz.
Yeah, so I had to make a little bit of some studio updates there just to kind of get a little refresh on not only my space, but then the show itself too. But anyway, like stuff is flying here, boys. And again, feel free to chime in if you're in on the chat as well. But anyway, I was going to talk a little bit before all this news happened with what we should be doing with Bo and Byram. Like, should they just say F you and just keep them just out of spite, just because, hey, you're under contract, that kind of thing, and play hardball? But no, Jarmo was already willing to step up to the plate and be like, all right, if you're not going to sign with us long term and you want some crazy money right now, which we don't think you're worth, you're not going to get paid more than Rasmus Dahlin on the Buffalo Sabres. So we're going to go ahead and shop you around. And obviously this was what appears to be right now a absolute grand slam of a trade, I think, right here.
Yeah, just two quick things to follow up on the Byram move. I mean, actually three things. So the fact that if you think about this trade in its totality, this is Casey Middlestat for the 4th overall pick plus, which is fantastic value. Obviously, I mean, I felt at the time that we won that trade. Obviously, we needed a defenseman, but I mean, trade in the good defenseman, or getting a good defenseman from a forward, and then just the way that Bo continued to take a step. And I understand why he feels like he can be a number one pairing defenseman on another team. It's just interesting how it all kind of worked out. So great job by both Kevin Adams and Jarmo to take an asset that was Casey Middlestat, a player that, you know, a lot of the fan base liked but never loved. So to see that return today, it's awesome. The other thing that's interesting about the trade itself, there was rumors that Nashville was also hot on the Bo trail. Those were the two teams that were really in on them. And if the rumors are true that an extension that Bo is going to sign 7 years for $12 million, there's no way that the Sabres could have dished that out on their blue line. Like, it doesn't matter who it was for. That's just too much money tied up into the back end. What do you think, Joe?
No team, I mean, with the cap going up, it's a different story, but currently no team has that much percentage of the cap invested in their blue line. So from a team building perspective, it's never been done before. So can you win with that much money tied up in your blue line? Like, sure, it looks great now, but can you win with that? I don't know. But clearly, I don't know. I don't think, I'm under the impression it wasn't about the money. I received a DM from somebody that the Sabres did talk to Byram at the Combine, and the Sabres exchanged some dollar figures, and they were comfortable in like the 10 to $11 million range, and Byram said no. So they were okay with paying him pretty decent money. But I think it's more role based, and he's going to get that in Chicago, clearly. And I think part of the reason why Chicago is so willing to kind of move off of this pick now, it seems like San Jose is definitely picking Ivar Stenberg now. And, Chicago needs to make the playoffs this coming year, or else their GM is deep fried. So, they could pick Carson Karls or any other defenseman, Chase Reed too, and maybe they'll be a top 4D in 2 years. But Bowen Byram helps them now, and maybe they can make the playoffs. So kind of reeks of desperation, but it makes sense for the Blackhawks, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot to give up, but Bowen Byram's your number one defenseman. That I would be a little freaked out about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Spurts in his play. I mean, we've seen it as Sabres. That's the Saberhood. At times, he's played amazing, displaying skills that can show he's a number one defenseman. And there's times that on defense, he looks like a traffic cone. So you know what I mean? So it's like there's two sides to the coin. Like, yeah, he's an offensive defenseman. We all know that. But I think for him to be really an elite defenseman on a top pairing guy on a team, a good playoff team, he's got to be with a solid shutdown type of a guy. So obviously he was never any better than third on the Sabres depth chart pecking order. Wasn't full-time playing on any power play unit. Although there was a point last season that he did take that responsibility over from Owen Power for a bit, but you're never gonna be the top guy with Darlene, and it just is what it is. There also was in just through the grapevine too. Not that we ever want to talk about personal things, but there was whispers in some of the circles that we talked about that he might not have wanted to sign long-term in Buffalo due to some family issues. So that's something to consider too. As you mentioned, Joe, they're going to talk to the player, when they can, and find out about what is his aspirations. Kind of similar to what we just saw Ottawa do with Tkachuk, with Brady, which I'm sure we're going to get into that in a little while here. But if you know that you have a depreciating asset just in terms of this guy has no plans to be long for your team, you got to sell when he's high. And I think the Sabres did a phenomenal job of selling at Bo's probably his highest value ever.
Oh, yeah. A year ago when they were trading Byram, I think we would have been content with like a late first round pick and like a third pair defenseman, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
We would have been okay with that. Like we couldn't fathom this trade a year ago. And I feel like this is a pretty decent return. It's a phenomenal return. Decent isn't even the right word to describe this. But also, I have a nugget here from Chris Johnston.
I was literally about to say the same thing. Yes, read it up, Joe. Read it up.
Even though Buffalo freed up some cap space with tonight's Bowen Byram trade, early sense is it won't change the direction with talks with UFA Alex Tuch. Expect Tuch to test the open market. So, seems like he's a goner.
We'll see.
He's earned the right to go test and see what's out there. I thought that was interesting. There was a nugget, I think, yesterday that they would be open to – they circled back, I guess, ahead of free agency. But not to say he couldn't come back. Like if he doesn't see an offer that he really is in love with, both the destination and the money, he could always come back. But I think that based on where this team is at, we're not really building anymore. They're in opening, or they're walking through the proverbial playoff window. The window for this team to get to and win a cup is open now, I believe, moving forward. And the age of their players, it is what it is. Like I just don't really think that it's the smartest idea to commit long-term money to an aging player. So just, this is a little bit of a youth movement. One other thing too, just for everybody, the poll is up. I know it's a little hard to see, but if under over 1.5 trades, we made it by midnight tonight. Maybe we don't get it done on the show here, but anybody feel free to vote, and we'll look at the results in a little while. Hey, Joe, I wanted to follow up real quick about you talked a little bit about the prospect. What can you tell us about the defensive prospect that the Sabres picked up? Was another large body on the back end?
I wouldn't even call him a prospect. He's a player. Honest to God, I don't really know a ton about him. I don't watch the Chicago Blackhawks in my free time. My camera's a little fuzzy here. Bear with me here.
No sweat.
Yeah, I don't know why it's acting up. So I apologize to the people watching. But he's huge.
Censored material behind that lens, folks.
He is huge, obviously 6'8". I believe he is the tallest defenseman on the active roster now.
That's like old Jamie Oleniziak type size.
I want to say he is an RFA. No, he's under contract for next year, $900,000, so cheap. I want to say he's like a third pair caliber defenseman, but yeah, I don't know a ton about him. Like, I want to say he's like a right-handed, maybe better version of Logan Stanley, but like another right-handed. But Connor Timmins is here too, and we know Lindy Ruff likes the lefty-righty pairings. So I wonder if Connor Timmins could be going out the door too,
right?
To free up a little bit of cap space, because $900,000 for Louis Crevier, and I think 2.2 for Connor Timmins.
Yeah.
So.
Louis. Do you have? I'm assuming you have his page open. What's his age?
I think he's like 27. Let me see.
Okay.
No, he's 25.
Okay, so
25.
not a kid. He matches the age of the team, though.
Yeah.
And if he's up and coming as a prospect, even if he is a third pair defenseman, like you were saying, Sean,
25 points last year on a pretty
terrible team. Yeah.
That could be very encouraging, especially if they're trying to encourage more of this offensive production from the D-core. So,
I wonder if, because I wonder if they view him as the Byram replacement on Powers pair. I doubt it, but.
So, yeah, and Sabres dude chiming in. Yeah, 19 minutes a night playing on the penalty kill. Yeah. The more and more, I mean, on paper, of course, it sounds like this is just the deal continues to sound better and better. So, but with that, obviously, like I mentioned, the Sabres now have a ton of ammo, whether it's using the 4th and the 20th overall, anybody in the younger guns prospect pool, hopefully not more than potentially one of your Kulik, your Helenyus, or Oslin to be added to that, and plus plenty more in the prospect pool. But you have rumors abound, whether it's anywhere from Robert Thomas, Connor Hellebuck, Nico Hischier, Matthew Knies, or even who should the Sabres be trading for at this point? I mean, are there any favorites for either you, Joe, or Sean that you hope the team would pursue? Anything realistic? Feel free to fire off with your ideas, because I feel like it's rumor mill season, of course. You got to be watching out for the eyeball emoji anytime you scroll through hockey Twitter at this point in time, because it is hot right now. And apparently there might be offer sheets abound too, just because on the 32 Thoughts podcast, I believe a day or two ago, there was mention that Ottawa, maybe not so much now that they've used a little bit of that ammo in their trade earlier today for Eklund, they might have pursued like an offer sheet for Zach Benson, which would have been the coldest day in hell if you asked me. But at the same time,
like speculate. I don't think there was anything. I was listening to that podcast that got kind of blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I thought so too, just because there would have been no way in hell that would have actually happened. But still, based on just like what is potentially out there, and obviously I can't forget Dylan Larkin, Jason Robertson, players of that magnitude. But those two might actually be in a trade for each other, it may sound. But still, what are some ideas that you think would be, one, either realistic, or two, at the top of your wish list? Joe, feel free to start us off.
I want Knies. I think he'd fit like a glove. Like on that second line, put him childhood. Like I don't want to say best friends, but he like grew up playing with Josh Doan in Arizona. Like they played on like club teams together growing up, good friends. Like got Knies on the left wing, Doan on the right wing, and I don't know, you put Helenyus. I'm calling him Helenyus until like I don't care.
Fair.
Helenyus.
There's no way it's pronounced differently. I'm sorry. There's no way. But
keeping the Twitter feed active as we go.
In between them, or Oslin between them, like that line would cook, guys. Like I think it's doable now. Like they like this guy. You can feel it. Like there's smoke. There's smoke
for sure.
He's my guy. Like I wanted them to get a center. Like obviously, if they could get if they can get Thomas, that'd be great. I don't think it's realistic, but if top 6 winger is the way to go if you can't get a center. But
yeah, I mean, I've been ever since he was even rumored back in the spring at the initial trade deadline. If Robert Thomas was available and you're looking to improve your center depth, obviously they have a lot of center depth right now, but your top number 1 center overall, having that be potentially Robert Thomas, I mean, that would be pretty excellent. Oh, look at that. Some highlights of Louis Crevier right there.
Oh, shootout goal. Hang on real quick. Sorry, because I didn't know that the audio was going to interrupt
on
this.
Vasilevsky, no less,
Yes,
on the Tampa Bay Lightning team that didn't really deserve all those awards, it appears.
Yeah,
but still, I am all in on the Robert Thomas train if that is still something that is viable, because based on the action that was happening earlier today, because there was plenty of it so far, St. Louis might be slowly opening up their doors for business. You don't mind turning that down. Yes, it's great that Crevier can score a shootout.
I didn't want the audio to just play like by itself. Sorry about that. We should be good.
Yes, killing me. Anyway, I kid. But still, St. Louis, they may be slowly creaking that door open for business now that Doug Armstrong is on his way out. New GM in place. Is there potential this maybe that the Sabres now would revisit maybe Colton Parayko, or like I was saying, the aforementioned Robert Thomas? Because again, now with ammo, now that you have, again, these extra draft picks, there's potentially a lot of sweetening of the pot here. So again, I am all in on that. But what you were saying, Joe, I do really think Matthew Nyes, just based on a lot of the connections that were already there, and if they're really trying to sweeten the pot, and if Toronto is really looking to just go all in on just building a new decor or anything like that, just using some of these new picks that they could have, I mean, why not just give them all these kids that they may not even be in Toronto for the foreseeable next few years? So
it's true.
And the way that the draft is projected to shake out, McKenna's going to go 1. It looks like Stenberg is going to go 2. And it seems like Malhotra is going to go 3 to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, they want that defenseman, preferably the right shot defenseman. Chase Reed, 4th overall. Like, they want that right shot defenseman. They've been looking for their right shot defenseman of the future for the last, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years. I don't even know. Like, when was the last time Toronto had this, like, premier right shot defenseman? I don't know. You guys got about 10 years on me. Like, you guys probably know more than I do.
Well, I would tell you this: the last time they've had like a premier defenseman in general was Dion Phaneuf, in his prime. I don't know if he was a righty. I think he was a lefty, but
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's not really known to have like lockdown D. I can think of some of Toronto's defensemen, Cody Franzen.
There's a name from forever ago.
Former Sabre draft pick Jake McCabe. Like, who do they really have that's been like an elite guy? Then they have, who was the guy that we used to have? Precision? No, who was the guy that scored the shootout?
The Bushkin. The Bush. How could you forget that? How could you forget that breakaway?
Hey.
Oh. Got action?
Okay. Cam Robinson of Elite Prospects. He says, I believe the Sabres will hold on to that 4th overall pick and target a center.
Really?
If Malhotra is gone, look for Vigo Bjork to find his path into the top 5.
Interesting.
But why, though? Interesting.
We don't need to. Oh.
And Jeremy White chiming in, extend the melon goat now. I am for that, yes.
So a couple updates in cap space. The Sabres seem to now be at $21.3 million in cap space. And we'll have about 14 once the Benson extension is announced, which we all think is going to be right around 7 for 7. Interesting. All is quiet on the Sabres front at the moment.
I mean, at the moment. So, again, lots and lots of action. So, I mean, And Shayna Goldman of The Athletic chiming in, and also of the Too Many Men podcast as well. She's saying, talk about a home run for Buffalo, but what are the Blackhawks doing? Use that number 4 pick to draft a franchise defenseman. It's not like they're in a position for Byram to be that missing piece. Man, they're getting raked on this one.
And it seems like a lot of Blackhawks fans are upset about losing Crevier too, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see.
That's usually a good sign.
Yes.
And we didn't really talk about this. I wanted to just bring it back to on the Sabres side for a second. I mean, I know how I feel about it. How do you guys feel about losing Greenway? Are you of the same mind of me that we're just happy to dump the salary at this point?
It had to be done.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Greenway, it was going to be Zucker, I feel like, but I felt like Zucker has a lot more value to the team. I mean,
Fresh has a nice post about Crevier. Why don't you pull that up, Sean?
There we go. Yep.
Which one?
J Fresh Hockey.
J Fresh?
Yep. Might have to look him up if you don't follow him already. He's a great follow if you don't follow him already.
Babushkin jersey, you can dust off, get a nameplate swap.
Hey, there you go. Save you guys a couple bucks there, especially for all you real ones with a Labushkin jersey. We know some of you are out there.
305 has a Labushkin jersey.
That is fantastic. And apparently he might be on the move again because I think Dallas is trying to shop him a bit. All right. So let's see. Up on the screen, J Fresh Hockey. So let's scroll up to that first slot for it again. Right there.
Pinned. Hold on.
That's the pinned one. Okay.
Here we go. I got it.
All right. Louis Crevier acquired by Buffalo's defenseman, who is 6'8" every time he steps on the ice and likes to shoot the puck. The Hawks played him in really tough matchup minutes last season, and he sure did hit people a lot in those minutes. So a physical defenseman. He's a goal scorer, apparently based on his goals percentage there. Not exactly high on the wins above replacement percentage there, but neither was Byram for that matter. And not to mention, like Joe and Sean were already saying, they were not a great Blackhawks team. Again, they were picking a 4th overall for a reason at this point.
They got jumped over by the Sharks, too.
Exactly.
And Toronto.
They rebuilt. Yeah, that's tough for Chicago.
Second worst team in the league.
Look at that. I mean, Chicago started earlier of sucking, and Macklin Celebrini looks to be, at this point, double the player of Connor Bedard. I hate to say it as a guy who holds all Connor Bedard's rookie cards. Thanks, but not thanks. Like, that's got smoked on that one, trying to recover on Celebrini's, but yeah, like San Jose has definitely jumped them. So not surprised to see them. I do want to bring up one thing. I know when we were talking in the chat, when we heard rumors that this might be a thing that was happening with Bo, I had a chance to look over the Blackhawks roster and just was not at all impressed with the at least the forward group that they skated last season. The one guy that I had really thought would have been a centerpiece of the trade coming back for Bo was Frank Nazar, the USA guy, about 6, just signed an extension at 6 for I think 7 years, so $6 million. But
we had a group chat I think mentioning him as well.
Yeah. So to hear that I was thinking best case scenario. I would argue, Joe, what do you think about this? That the 4th overall pick carries more value than Frank Nazar straight up. He was, I think, a top 10 pick in his own right. But
I think he was like 13th.
He was close, yeah.
He was picked like right before Noah Austin. The Sabres just sent out the notification for the trade in the app. So
there you go. Officially official now.
Yeah. Okay, Matt Bobe just said, if my math is correct, $22 million in cap space. So
a whole lot more to play with right there.
We haven't addressed the elephant in the room, guys.
What do you got?
Shoot it, Joe.
Hellebuyck. What do you guys think?
I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be the next point I was going to ask. I mean, you can afford him now.
Looking right now, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, potentially because there's been a lot of smoke on that, at least just from pods and talk shows. I mean, I know the Sabres have been in the discussions about it as well as Detroit because he's a Michigan native, correct?
He is.
So, I mean, if
you're going to want to go to Detroit when they're about to trade Larkin.
Exactly.
Yeah. Probably
I mean, this could potentially be what can get it over the finish line. Obviously, he has a no movement clause. He has to agree to come here. But I saw, I want to say it was Sneaky Joe post out the picture of Tage next to Hellebuck after they won the gold. I mean, there's a little bit of a connective tissue right there. I mean, you could see a lot of these potential dots getting crossed. But I mean, I also saw Chad DeDominicis chiming in earlier, saying like they might be looking into this, but if the asking price is too high, they might not be totally into that. I mean, if it was indeed the person they were going after, Hellebuck, like, I mean, so many people would get a Hellebuck jersey yesterday. I mean, if that was indeed the trade that was to be gone after. I mean, but speaking of goalie considerations right there for the Sabres, there's some smoke with Bobrovsky potentially being a guy they're targeting as well. He is 5 years older than Hellebuck. And I mean, granted, Hellebuck himself is already 33 years old, but goalies are interesting. They can age very gracefully. And obviously Bobrovsky, he's won 2 Stanley Cups and been to 3 in the last 4 years, of course. So, I mean,
I think the cost would be a little bit lower for Bob. I think the Panthers got to be in a position that they're going to have to shed some cap. Like, I don't see how they're not going to. I think Bob might be a luxury that they just can't afford at this point, especially after adding the second Kachuk contract.
Yeah, more on that later, just because I thought that was just insanity the way that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We got some more about our guy here, Chris. I don't know if you'd be able to read it. It might be too small.
Sure. It says, based on his highlights from last year, he set new single-season career highs in games played, 78 games, 7 goals, 18 assists, so a total of 25 points, and led all Blackhawks defensemen in goals and points. That is very encouraging based on the way the Sabres defensemen play.
Not playing power play. Interesting. Okay.
So ranked second among Chicago skaters in hits with 124 and block shots. Oh, music to a lot of Sabres fans' ears right here. In 25-26, he recorded more shots, of 100 more miles per hour or greater this season than any other NHL skater, and registered the 4th hardest shot of the season of over 102 miles per hour against Colorado. He has registered 32 points in 134 NHL games in his career, all of which have come with Chicago. Obviously, the gist of it right there. So, again, on paper, this is sounding like it's a pretty big slam dunk home run. Say the positive terminology of your choice here.
Joe Marino, take a bow. A better Logan Stanley.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what this guy is. I love it.
Right?
A right-handed, better version of Logan Stanley.
And way cheaper, too.
And he might be an inch taller.
Yeah, which is even more insane, too.
Better hands.
Right? Just to kind of talk a little bit more about the goalie front there, too. If they are going to pursue, whether it's Hellebuck, whether it is Bobrovsky, what have you, which of the current goaltenders are the ones who are out the door? Because you have UPL, who's got decent money under contract these next few years. And obviously you have Alex Lyon, who's under contract, I believe, for like 1.5 for another year. And you have good old Colton Chaos, who I think they would be willing to bring back, obviously, for reasonable money as well. And then not to mention Devin Levi sitting, waiting in the wings, just wondering what the heck is going to happen to him.
I think if they do, I said this earlier and I got pushback on it, but I stand by what I said. I think Frank Saravelli put out like a list of teams that would make sense for Hellebuck to go to. He listed Utah, Florida, Detroit, LA, San Jose, and Buffalo. Winnipeg wants a number 2 center and ideally a goalie to replace Hellebuck. Those are going to be the 2 things that they're going to want back.
Definitely got those things.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he's like 26 years old on a pretty good contract. Like, I know some people think it's a terrible contract, but he's like the 27th highest paid goalie in the league. It's like he's closer to backup money than starter money.
Yes, agreed.
And then they also have Josh Norris, number 2 center. Very low end number 1, high end number 2 center.
You could potentially parlay Ryan McLeod as your number 2 center as well.
Low end number 2 center, high end number 3 center.
So you guys, Joe, you would think more so McLeod and or Norris as opposed to one of the 3 young guys.
Well, the thing is, Winnipeg, they're not going to want futures. They want to stay competitive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can the Winnipeg market handle a rebuild? Probably not.
I mean, in theory, this would be a rebuild if they are going to send Hellebuck, of course.
Yes.
So
okay, Florida, they don't have cap space to take Hellebuck or the resources to get Hellebuck. They're not trading Anton Lundell for Connor Hellebuck.
Right.
Cross them off the list. The Utah Mammoth are not trading Logan Cooley for Connor Hellebuck.
Right.
And they just signed Nick Schmaltz to a 8-year extension. Does what the heck's his name?
San Jose.
Barrett Hayton? Does Barrett Hayton move the needle for him?
no.
Probably not.
Probably not enough.
I'd take Ryan McLeod over Barrett Hayton. I mean, I know that Josh Norris has his doubters, but I think I'd probably take Josh Norris over him too. A healthy Josh Norris for 40 games is better than Barrett Hayton for 60 games. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Kings, they still need a number 2 center, so they don't have a number 2 center or really even a number 3 center to trade.
Who's their number 1? Byfield? Shaky. He's a number 2 on a good team.
They wouldn't give him
like
up.
Norris. Yeah.
The Red Wings are about to trade their number 1 center, and their number 2 and 3 centers are JT Compher and Andrew Kopp.
Yeah.
And the Sharks.
And nobody knows what the Sharks are going to be. Obviously, they're very young, but everything is centered around Celebrini and what they're going to do to surround him. Obviously, they have Will Smith. Eklund obviously just sent over to the Senators earlier today. But still, I mean, I don't know if the Sharks are ready to take that next step yet. But if Hellebuck wants to really hitch his wagon to like you were saying, Joe, of teams with those resumes, you were just saying the Sabres, in theory, would be the logical choice just based on their most recent playoff run and obviously the trajectory of a lot of the young players on the team as well. So,
and also too, Chris, the missing piece. I think the Sabres' biggest hole right now is goalie.
Now, New Jersey could make sense too. Frank didn't list New Jersey. They just added a lot of picks, but the elephant in the room, Jacob Markstrom. But is Jacob Markstrom, I believe, has a full no movement clause. Is he going to want to go to Winnipeg? That's
the toughest sell for anybody in the league is trying to get somebody to go to Winnipeg. And obviously,
that's not the case for Buffalo guys, though. Josh Norris's no trade clause kicks in on July 1st. Ooh. If the Sabres are going to trade Josh Norris, it is going to happen in the next week.
That is a very interesting tidbit right there because I did not realize that was the case. So for those who are listening right here, our 1,700 viewers, that is of utmost importance right there.
Yeah.
They know Joe's on. They show up when you're here, Joe.
Yeah. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, I cannot imagine that he has any trade protection, but I mean, I'm sure he would welcome a trade anywhere. Like, I'm sure the climate in Winnipeg is very close to Finland. So
I would say probably quite similar.
Okay.
Let's see. Chicago Blackhawks. They're giving their goodbye post to Crevier. Says from your rookie lap to now. Thank you for everything, Krev. So they call him Krev for short, folks.
We should call him Krev as well.
Yeah. Like, does that make sense? And apparently, Hellebuck really likes fishing. You can fish on Lake Erie.
Yeah, you can. I do it all.
I mean, you have the Finger Lakes to go to as well. Got a lot of options. Not entirely too far away from Adirondacks either. I'm heading
Rochester,
there later this
we got
week.
Lake Ontario. We got Alcott up there. Yeah, it's a great area for fishing.
Oh.
But yeah, just to kind of keep things rolling a bit. Obviously, the possibilities for what could be happening in the next week plus are truly endless because obviously the draft itself is on Friday and Saturday. The Sabres now have a few more picks at their disposal here with 4 with 20, with 45. I think that recoups their second rounder that they lost. I think they had 3 or 4 other picks that they had as well. So obviously they're going to try and restock the cupboards in some capacity here. But I did want to kind of shift it a little bit to actual free agents. I mean, Tuck is obviously at the top of the list for the entire league, of course. But it is an older, and you could argue very much so, a less flashy class of free agents this year. But there's been a lot of talk around who could be going where. But some names that are obviously standing out based on needs of the Sabres, especially particularly the power play. I mean, you have Patrick Laine out there, Patrick Kane, you have Boone Jenner. I mean, those were just a few that were kind of sticking out to me, just based on just interest and previous history with Jarmo, of course. Obviously, Patrick Kane with his ties to Buffalo. I mean, just being more or less a power play specialist, and his numbers are nothing to sneeze at, despite being 37, about to turn 38 this year. I mean, for guys that are on the free agent market, I mean, are there any particular players that you guys have had your eyes on if they want to maybe retool some things on the roster for some of those middle 6 spots?
No. It hasn't even crossed my mind, to be honest. It's just in the trade market. If you look at the connections, maybe Laine, maybe Boone Jenner, if they strike out on the trade market.
The problem with all 3 of those that I just mentioned is none of those guys have had a completely a full and healthy season in the last few years, whether it's Kane, Jenner, or Laine for that matter. Laine apparently was healthy enough to play last year for Montreal, but they just kind of sidelined him just because obviously the team was cooking. So you can't blame Montreal for that, of course. Kane, obviously, like he's more or less turned into a power play merchant, kind of feeding off the guys on his lines. Yeah, I mean, again, the connections are there. Boone Jenner, of course, has those ties to Jarmo, just like Laine did as well. He, again, has some health issues that he's been going through. But what's funny is I was listening to this, I forget on which platform, but I was also just doing a little bit of digging on Puckpedia. He is probably one of the only players I've seen to sign identical contracts, I think, and back-to-back contracts, I think, for the term and the amount of dollars on there. So that was quite interesting to me as well. But he would be a depth center to include as well if they're looking to still add to that. But still, I was just very curious on that just because, again, if you have somebody like Greenway going out now, some of those other bottom 6 spots or middle 6 spots would need to be filled. But those are just 3 that are off the top of my head right here. But any additional thoughts on free agents or the draft for that matter, just because, again, that is a huge thing coming down the pipeline, and not to mention taking place in Buffalo.
The 4th pick is so interesting, man. I mean, going back, Sean, I don't think I answered your question earlier, but like, if they could pick a set, like if Malhotra slides to them, like,
is that Manny's son? I'm assuming.
Yes, it's Manny Malhotra's son.
Interesting.
Like, if they can pick him, like, that could be their one shot at getting like a true number 1 center.
Right.
Like,
and if they do, the whole fan base, I know I would feel a lot more comfortable with jettisoning one of the 3 guys in a trade for something else at that point.
Because honest to God, like, we're lying to ourselves if we are like genuinely believing that Noah Ostlund or Yuri Kulik are going to be a number 1 center. I'm sorry. Like, Hellenius, I can buy that. The other 2, I'm
high on Ostlund, but
not on a cup contending team. Come on.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be comfortable with any of those guys being our number 1 center.
Right.
You know,
like Malhotra, like,
yeah.
They will probably never pick this high for another, like, it, you know.
Probably ever. You're probably right, honestly.
Yeah.
Your logic makes perfect sense.
So, and they haven't really had a chance to get that center during this, you know, post-Eichel rebuild.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they picked all our first overall, and then they kind of, you know, went on their little bunny hop run where they picked Savoy, and then they picked Ostlund, Kulik. They didn't get that high end number 1 center.
Bona fide consensus in the running for first overall.
Right.
Well, okay, maybe not this year, but
Yeah.
in most years, the guy does he have? I don't honestly. I have to admit, because I wasn't even really too concerned about it, being that we we're going to pick this high. As far as Maholcha goes, does he have wheels like his old man? And his old man was fast. He's one of the fastest players in the league, and he played a great two-way brand of hockey. I'm going to guess he's more offensive-minded about it. I have to read up a bit about him.
I believe so. I don't know if like that's his like his main like tool in his toolkit.
Right.
So to say, like I used to be like a huge prospect guy. I honestly have not paid as close attention as I normally would, given the fact that the Sabres are a dominant team this year and winning the division. But like he's the top center of the draft, and Cam Robinson mentioned that the Sabres might be pretty high on Vigo Bjork. Skating is not a strong suit of Vigo, but like think like Zach Benson, but a center almost.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
got me thinking that Christian Bale, like, ooh,
yeah,
Jeff
like,
right there.
Yeah, like kind of like Logan Stankoven in the playoffs a little bit, like that archetype almost. So
all right.
Yeah, looks like he's one of the biggest risers up the board.
He's a Sabre, but I feel like fourth might be a little rich. But you know, if you got a player you like, you pick him. But I know a lot of Sabres fans have prospect fatigue.
Guess who's been coaching him, Joe? By the way,
what's that?
Guess who's been coaching him?
Vigo or Malhotra?
Malhotra.
Oh, it's Jay McKee, Brampton Bulldogs.
That's right.
Brantford Bulldogs.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and segue to get a word from our sponsor, and that is DraftKings Sportsbook. So, obviously, the Stanley Cup has been awarded to the Carolina Hurricanes at this point, but DraftKings was with you every step of the way as they dished it out to the absolute villains of the league that are the Vegas Golden Knights. But more importantly now, the DraftKings Sportsbook app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. So sweat every shift of any series that you are watching, whether it's in your future playoff series, whether it's in, upcoming MLB playoffs later this fall. Maybe you're going to be sweating it out on every single drive from your favorite team, whether it's in college football or the NFL. Or anyway, you can make this betting all in one place with one app, that is DraftKings Sportsbook. And hey, for you futures bettors out there, your Buffalo Sabres, they're plus 2,500 for being their odds for the Stanley Cup win for them next year. So your current top odds now, of course, going to the Florida Panthers at plus 750. But with that, though, with DraftKings Sportsbook, those who are new customers, sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That is code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. And hey, fun fact, we don't have to do the disclaimer anymore, so you're going to hear a robot voice if you're on the audio side next time.
You sure will.
Yes, but anyway, to continue things, just going down our rabbit hole of just fun and excitement with the NHL. So I did say, and I want to put a pin in it earlier, I did want to talk about the Tkachuk trade that happened over the weekend, because obviously huge news, caused quite a bit of controversy for what no movement clauses can do, and Tkachuk's interactions with the Ottawa media after the Olympics, of course, this year. Not going to get into the political realm by any means, of course. But again, that obviously put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And Ottawa was ultimately able to make the move they did today to get Eklund from San Jose earlier. But, gentlemen, any major thoughts on what this does for Florida and ultimately for Ottawa at this point? And then just kind of keeping this all within a vacuum as well, just because they're a hot button topic. What about all these other potential trades and rumors of players that were on this past Team USA for Milan Cortina, just because apparently there's this group chat out there of all things just curiosity of where these players want to go, where they want to play for, who they want to play for. And it always seems to be the same four teams of Florida, Minnesota, Vegas, or there's a fourth one I'm missing right here, just right off the top of my head. But think of your income tax-free states, of course, or the team that Bill Guerin is the GM for in Minnesota. But guys, what are your thoughts on the Tkachuk trade overall, whether it's from the Florida standpoint, the Ottawa standpoint, or just from a league-wide standpoint as a whole?
Joe, do you mind if I jump in quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I just think it's interesting as a viewer of all major league sports. You're starting to see the NHL become like the NBA, where you have, like you mentioned, the USA national team. These guys all got together, and they have the group chat type of thing. And these guys are starting to dictate, where they want to go. And the thing that's interesting is I saw an article, or I watched some type of a video yesterday, and they were saying the difference is it's so much worse in the NHL. There's 2 guys in the NBA currently that have no trade clauses. Every player worth a damn in the NHL has a no movement clause or something. So I don't know if it's necessarily a benefit in the long scheme for the NHL to continue to give these, modified NTCs or no trade movement or lists to every single player. That's something that I think should be reserved for the Macklin Celebrinis and the Connor McDavids of the world, or like the Sidney Crosbys, guys that have a crazy amount of tenure and are well respected and have been doing it for a long time. So I think it's very interesting that the players are starting to band together and force moves out. I don't really love the way that Brady Tkachuk, handled himself with the Canadian media. I know he's a U.S. national player. There's a lot of rumors that the relationship was a little bit rocky for a while. He met with their GM, and ultimately from that meeting, basically it said like, hey, I don't see myself being here long term. Allegedly, the GM said, well, where do you want to go? And from what I understand, Florida was the only real team that he gave as an option to go play with his brother. So I think because that being kind of the backstory of it all, I think that the return was very underwhelming for a player of his caliber. But again, Ottawa's hand was completely being, forced. So what it does to Florida, it's a great move by Florida. Yeah, they have some moves that they're probably going to have to look at to get salary compliant or to look at long term. But dude, they're an absolute wagon. Like if we're saying that which team is going to be the biggest thorn in the side of the Sabres as we continue to, push and punch, above our weight and become a real contender in the Eastern Conference, like Florida is going to be right back, barring a crazy amount of injuries again. That team is going to be a real tough out.
But at the moment, who is going to be playing in goal for them? Because they don't have Bobrovsky signed under contract, and apparently all they have are some prospects in line to play in net currently. And they don't have, like we said earlier, a lot of salary cap space to work with.
Fair enough. What I will say is, to rebuke your point, that team with UPL probably could win a Stanley Cup. So the team's that good. You could have a so-so goalie. Look at the goalies that were in the Cup this year.
Very fair point. Also, for those looking for a bit of humor and for fans of the Hitman video game franchise, you'll appreciate Joe's most recent tweet featuring Jarmo Kekalainen in that as well. So excellent work, Joe.
We'll pull it up.
Shout out ChatGPT.
Yes. But yeah, I could not agree more on your takes with the Tkachuk trade there, Sean. I mean, it very NBA-like, very NBA adjacent right there. But I'll be very curious in the next collective bargaining agreement if that will be changed in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, the NHL also refuses to get out of its own way as the league that just always likes to shoot itself in the foot. But Joe, any lingering thoughts on that trade, whether it's for the league as a whole, for either team, maybe just even talking about Ottawa in that regard?
I think, given the circumstances, I think Ottawa did pretty well. I mean, it's pretty clear that Tkachuk only wanted to go to Florida. They got a top 10 pick out of it. What was it, 3 firsts and a second?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was all futures.
I like Eklund a lot. I was like his biggest fanboy in the 21 draft. So like I was hoping the Sabres would have gotten him. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good haul for the Senators. I wonder how they're gonna replace his production overall, but yeah, it sucks for them, obviously.
And then for those tuning in, or if you're not somebody to be on the Twitter X timeline right there he is in all of his glory, Jarmo Kekalainen as the Hitman. And let's hope that he continues to make some noteworthy moves here. I was just also looking. It was a thread, an exchange with Chad DeDominicis with somebody on Sabres Twitter. He does not think that there will be any additional moves tonight, and Chad is pretty plugged into what the Sabres are doing based on his sources. So at this point, if you bet the under the 1.5 trades, you would have won for this evening. But
the no move clauses suck.
Oh, they sure do.
It suck, and like they're not going to get rid of it because like they're not going to like strip the players of their rights. Like they're in like a peacetime thing with the Players Association. Like they just got the CBA done a year early. Like it's just not going to happen. Like I don't think there's anything they can do. Like the GMs just got to stop painting them out like it's candy on Halloween. Like you have to stop giving it to like the Mark Jankowskis of the world, and like Sean said, like give it to the best of the best. And like with expansion coming, like I noticed this the other day. Like everyone is signing, like all the Edmonton players, like Murphy and what's his face. The center that they signed, his name is escaping me, but they both signed like 4 or 5 year deals, maybe 6-year deals or something. But the first 3 years were no movement clauses, and then it switched to modified no trade. Like everyone recently has been signing first 3 years no movement clause, and then it switches. So I wonder if in 3 years when expansion starts happening, when they eventually start like rapidly expanding to 34 to 36 teams. Because as you guys remember, like if you have a no movement clause, you have to be protected in the expansion draft, or you have to wait to be exposed. Maybe we'll see a decrease in them finally, but
yeah, for all we know, we might see a second coming of a Vegas-like team again. Obviously, it didn't work out in Seattle's favor, of course. But it's funny you bring up that expansion today, because one of the bigger things that came out of the owners' meetings today was the potential expansion to either Houston or Austin. Now, me personally, just being selfish, I think it would be kind of interesting for Austin to get their own their very first professional team of any kind out of the big 4 sports right there. So obviously that's where University of Texas is located, of course, but still, I think Austin getting a hockey team, I think would be very niche. From what a lot of friends tell me, it's a great place and cool city to just live in and be around. So I think that would be a very great NHL market. I mean, the Stars do pretty well in Dallas, and there's a pretty big devoted fan base down there. And what's helped is they've been great for these last 4 or 5 seasons, especially with a Stanley Cup run not too long ago. Granted, it was one of those bubble seasons, but still, Dallas has continuously been a contender these last few years, and I think that's still really helped keep them in the upper echelon of teams. I mean, yes, you could say all you want about hockey in the South or hockey in the Sun Belt, but Dallas has just consistently always been holding strong there ever since they made the shift from Minnesota way back in the early 90s. So, I mean, I think it would be pretty cool for Austin to have that. Obviously, Houston already has a few professional teams there too, but still, Austin getting it, I think, would be my personal choice. Obviously, I have no inkling or say on that too, of course. But still, what are your guys' thoughts on there? Because Sean, obviously, with you being around the Atlanta area, you've seen and heard plenty that Atlanta might be one of the other teams getting it back again, for Atlanta getting the 3rd iteration of an NHL franchise.
Yeah. There's actually already some. We've talked about it on the show before. There's some work that's being done kind of behind the scenes to, I think, either start to build, or our facility is already going to be potentially looked at being used in the northern Atlanta suburbs, actually very close to where I currently reside. And it's, I would say there's a high likelihood of Atlanta getting a team within the next couple seasons. I would put it at about 80%. So yeah, there's been talk like with the city council and with the different, I guess, things you have to do to get ready for the infrastructure, parking. You know, I'm big into parking. That's what I do in my day-to-day life. So yeah, I've heard some of these conversations that the city council and whatnot, they are planning on, you know, an NHL team and the fanfare that comes along with it, coming to the area again. So last time it was the Evander Kane led
Atlanta Thrashers.
So Bogosian too, Zach Bogosian.
That's right. Yes.
But yeah, this is a great sports market. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not quite sure because I wasn't here. I don't know how the teams supported or didn't support them. I don't know if it might be like an Arizona situation with the Coyotes. I don't know. But they seem to support their other teams well. It's just going to be interesting here specifically. All the major teams like the Falcons and the Atlanta Hawks are in downtown Atlanta. They're talking about, 30, 40 minutes north of the city in the suburbs for the hockey. So maybe that's a strategic move to draw better? I don't know. It could very well be.
Right. I mean, we'll see, just because this will be the first of the big four, of course, in North America to have more than 32 teams. So I'll be very curious to see how the structure of that plays out too, just because it'd be a first, of course, because hockey, I mean, to their credit, like they've had a pretty, I'd say, seamless amount of expansion, especially with Vegas and Seattle just coming in these last few seasons. I mean, I think their markets really welcome them with open arms. Obviously, say what you will about the Vegas market and just let's just call it pretentiousness of some of their fans, and whether or not you could think they're true diehards, just because the biggest tragedy they've had is only missing the playoffs for like a single season at this point. But Seattle, on the other hand, with only one playoff win on their resume, they got a little bit more work to do on their side of things. But to keep things rolling here, just to kind of actually wrap it up here, we'll go to our one of our favorites, our Grind My Gears segment here. Joe, I know you wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about your battle with the Home Depot here. So let it rip. Let us know how Home Depot is grinding your gears. He's adjusting the mic. You know it's about to get serious.
People. How many people are watching right now?
We have nearly 1,900 viewers, 1878 to be exact.
All right. For the nearly 1,900 people watching right now, for the homeowners out there who do not have fenced-in backyards, I beg you, each and every one of you who are residing in Buffalo or Rochester, do not, and I plead, do not go through Home Depot to build a fence in your backyard. Do not. They will mess it up, and they will not fix it for you when you try and get them to fix it. I am going to small claims court tomorrow to try and get my money back.
Yes, he's got the pics to prove it.
Yeah, look at my poor dog. Look at my poor dog that got injured from this.
You can't do that to that good boy. Come on.
Look at him. Look at him. He's so sad.
You can't do that.
He got cut.
Has he got a bandage on him right there?
Yeah, no, he's got
his cone. He's got his donut.
No cones.
Yeah, bubble color. Poor guy. You're gonna see.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give me the money.
Right.
You know what? To your point too, with the Home Depot. So our parents, I think we told you, they recently bought their house in Greenville, South Carolina, and I went to visit them. And this is actually going to probably be my Grind My Gears, actually. It's a perfect segue. We go to Home Depot to pick something up, and like there's a guy, like a Home Depot dressed guy with like the orange, whatever they wear, their little
their apron. Rather.
Apron. Yeah. And he's like, you could tell he's like doing some kind of soliciting. I could just tell. He'd walk up, and he goes to the little old poor Mima, and goes,
"Oh no,
hey, like they got to pick on her." He goes, "Hey, do you like animals, bro? What person in America is going to say no to that question? Like, trying to get people to sign up to whatever like animal shelter, give money, or that's ASPCA or something. Like, bro, come on, be better than that.
That's pretty weak. So I won't do mine as much of a grind my gears because we also have to give them their flowers segment. But I have two people I want to give them their flowers. One is to well-known podcast host Mr. Patrick Moran of Talking Buffalo, and another, actually, believe it or not, another podcast host, a friend of mine here in the Richmond area, Mr. Justin Green of the Sports Brew podcasts. Both of them convinced me to go ahead and get a colonoscopy just based on some personal things that happened either to themselves or to loved ones or family members. So I'm glad they gave me the push because I got a clean bill of health. And hey, with the growing rates of colon cancer rising in men within our age bracket, hey, just take the plunge, clear those pipes of yours for one night, folks. Get your colonoscopy, get that peace of mind. So I'm giving my flowers to Patrick Moran and Justin Green.
Love that. I love that. I will also be following suit, following in your footsteps there, because it is. We also in our family has a history of cancer. That's a real shitty cancer.
Nope. No pun intended, but still, you don't want that happening to your shit, essentially.
That's right. That's right. And if I could, I wanted to just do a quick segment about the give the flowers part. Shameless plug for us. I wanted to just give the viewers and listeners a quick insight to what we have coming down the pike here. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Mr. Del Reed for inviting us back to MafiaCon, which will be July 18th at the Seneca One Tower. Again, I believe is the venue, correct?
Correct, yes.
We have a couple different really awesome guests lined up, including former Bill Marcus Doughton, a good friend and business partner of mine, potentially a couple others, potentially Abigail Lee. Hope to have her on. So with all her amazing Bills gear for the ladies, and maybe a couple other special guests that we're still working on. So we're really excited to be back in Buffalo for that. I think that's all I had.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up MafiaCon. I wanted to kind of wrap things up with that. But still, to our, again, nearly 1,900 viewers, we thank you for tuning in and listening to us ramble and just get our immediate takes on the big Sabres trade that happened earlier this evening. Again, we really appreciate all the viewership and support you give for us. We're going to, like I said, I know I said this the last time we were on, of course, but at the same time, with a lot of action and happening in the NHL next week, we got the Bills obviously ramping up before they start training camp in just a few weeks. That'll be here before we know it too, of course. And then, as Sean just mentioned, we are stoked to be going back to MafiaCon in just under a month, just right around 4 weeks from now. But still, we are looking forward to not only hanging out with those who are going there, just doing our show, but then maybe adding a little bit more to that pile of cans that we set up with which last summer as well.
I hope TG's coming. We can use someone to drink all those beers, Mr. Tim Graham, if you're listening or watching.
Oh, we know Tim had a great time. But anyway, Joe, we thank you for your time, of course, as well.
Thank you, Joe.
We hope you fight the good fight against the aforementioned Home Depot. Shame on them for what they did to your pups. So
send us a text. Send us a text after the case. Let us know.
If I can send you guys a picture of the check.
There you go.
Very nice.
There you go. So, but hey, wish Joe good luck as he takes on the battle of the corporation. And then for us, you'll see us probably within the next week or so as, again, NHL action is ramping up. And hey, don't forget, there was also just a little event down over in Orchard Park where the Bills unveiled their beautiful new Highmark Stadium for everybody to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what that will be all about once they start letting fans in there for whether it's preseason games or getting into the regular season. But folks, for us, we love talking Buffalo Sabres with you. We love talking hockey with you tonight, and we look forward to seeing you soon. And as always, let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Take care, y'all.